This is Ashstead in Surrey. Since 1997 there's been a link between the people of Ashstead and the community of Nyaishozi, an African village in northern Tanzania. This link has been made possible through the work of the local charity, Action in Africa. A local troupe travels from village to village performing their traditional dances. This show is put on in the hills above Nyaishozi after everyone has been to church. This colourful scene doesn't show the hardships and struggles of everyday life. Over the years, Action in Africa has raised money to provide aid for Nyaishozi. The main focus of the charity has been to raise money to pay for the schooling of hundreds of local children.
Sit down. Stand up. Sit down.
Nyaishozi is very remote. The nearest airport is Entebbe, Uganda. Apart from a 9.5-hour flight from London, there is an 8-hour drive to the village, much of it skirting the west side of Lake Victoria. Although the area is lush and green, it's still very isolated. Being so isolated, Nyaishozi has many problems. The local clinic, run by the nuns of St. Charles Convent, is supported by Action in Africa. It deals with patients suffering from many life-threatening diseases, such as malaria and HIV. The staple diet is bananas, but in recent years the plantations have been ravaged by a bacterial infection, commonly known as banana wilt.
The weight from going down. But I think, you see, it should be intact, but it's already stretching. Even this. Oh. Yeah.
It's spread by pollinating insects and through the soil, and quickly passes from plant to plant, affecting the leaves and fruit.
Very, very bad smell. And not yet fully mature. So you have to wait maybe 4 weeks before you can harvest this one. But once diseased, this banana on the tree will turn yellow. You can see. This is a cooking banana, which it turned yellow before maturity. That is smelling horrible. You cannot eat it, you cannot cook it, even no animal can eat this one. Yeah. So you cannot eat this one as ripe banana. This is already smelling bad, it's rotting only. So this is all loss. The government has to do something.
Religion plays a central part in village life. Every Sunday morning, the service at the local Catholic church is taken by the resident priest, Father Vitalis. Perhaps Nyaishozi's biggest problem is a lack of education, which often results in unemployment and poverty. Within Nyaishozi, there are many families who struggle to educate their children, keep them clothed, and provide for their basic needs. This family, the Athanasis, have a particular problem. The father is blind and unable to work. They have 6 children, all of whom have been or are being educated with the help of Action in Africa. Mr. Athanasi explains to Father Vitalis the challenges the family face on a daily basis. It falls to his wife to take responsibility for the family, which is clearly a considerable strain. Action Africa supports the Little Nyaishozi kindergarten known as St Michael's after the Ashted Parish Church. This provides early learning for up to 80 children. Once the children reach primary school, they are often faced with a long walk from their homes to the village school. Many have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, with a hike lasting up to 3 hours along unlit tracks. When they arrive at school, they are expected to clean and prepare the school before lessons begin. They bring with them small bunches of twigs which they use to brush away the dust. Although Nyaishozi Primary School is a state school, parents have to pay a registration fee, buy a school uniform and provide money for the stationery that their children use. The school day starts with a morning assembly which is always held outside. This morning, Action in Africa is presenting prizes for the Christmas card drawing competition. The first prize goes to Victor Damien, who is one of the students sponsored by the charity. Victor lives with his mother, brothers and sisters. Father Vitalis has delivered some gifts for the children from Action in Africa. The charity also sponsors Peace, Victor's sister.
Peace. Joe.
Njoo zawadi yako.
Kuna nakara.
Umevipenda au hujalipenda? Na hiki kikubwa ni nini?
Hiki.
Mtu mmoja uonje tuone kama ni zenyewe. Kama ushike mpira wako na wewe washukuru.
Njoo ushike mpira ushukuru.
Victor is due to move on to secondary school, and as his sponsor, Action Africa is keen for him to go to Nyaishozi Secondary School. This is a co-ed boarding school, and Louis Bellaro, the head teacher, explains why he thinks it's beneficial for students to board.
When they go home, they find outside activities like cooking, keeping of animals and whatever. Those activities will minimize their concentration on their studies. And at the end of the day, there will be failures and they won't achieve what they are supposed to achieve academically.
Whilst a healthy relationship between the sexes is encouraged during the day, Louis emphasises the importance of separating the teenagers from each other at night.
Students are here to study, not to think of otherwise.
These are the girls' dormitories. They're situated far from those of the boys, which are over 200 metres away.
With co-education, there is a tendency when we educate them that academically in classrooms you have to assist each other, you have to discuss, you have to argue each other to come to conclusion. And we are encouraging them because we know that in their future it is going to help them.
As funds become available, Lewis is improving the facilities of the school. A matron's house is being built next to the girls' dormitory. He's also building a science block, which he's having to furnish with science equipment. The school has a library, and now it has electricity, Lewis would like to provide up-to-date computers.
Those are some of the challenges we are facing, but we don't complain much because we are making it.
Rwanda is another secondary school in Nyaishozi. Currently, it only has day students, but that's about to change. Action in Africa has funded the building of their first dormitory for the female students. Father Vitalis discusses with them and their head teacher, Stanley Basaki, how this will change their routine. The main concern for the teenage girls is having to walk long distances in the dark to and from school. For this reason, Action Africa is sponsoring girls from poor families to enrol as boarders. This is Bibiana Patalisi, whose father originally approached Father Vitalis for shoes so that Bibiana could walk to school. Instead, Action Africa is financing her full-time secondary education at Nyaishozi Secondary Boarding School. Before meeting the headmaster, it's important that she has her head shaved, as is the Tanzanian custom. Uncut hair is seen as a sign of extreme poverty. Bibiana's family are living in desperate circumstances. Both her younger brother and sister have died from malaria and her mother is disabled. Bibiana has shown herself to be a clever girl and will certainly make the most of this opportunity.
She's new to this environment, Nyaishozi, but particularly in this school. Therefore, we thought it would be a good idea if she goes around.
Rebecca Didas is among the students who have been supported by Action in Africa in the past. Rebecca now works as a midwife in Nyaishozi, where she faces many problems.
The first is the equipment for deliveries, mothers, the shortage of staffs, and no allowance. Tumia sindano. Kutokana na sindano kunamsaidia kutokuwa na tatizo la upungufu wa damu.
The charity also put Patrick Prichard through primary and secondary school in Nyaishozi. With continued help from the charity, despite severe disabilities, he has been able to complete a vocational training course in electrical engineering. He now runs his own business installing solar panels and electrical installations in local houses. As a result, he's been very successful and has been able to build himself a large house, which he shows to Father Vitalis. Some students learn their trade as apprentices with local tradesmen. Here in a Nyaishozi workshop, they make wooden furniture for the local community. Beds in particular seem to be very much in demand. They're one of the first things people buy when they can afford it. Paulina Makata was helped by Action in Africa to get her teaching certificate and now teaches geography to secondary students. She is passionate about the importance of education, especially for girls.
It is very difficult to educate a woman here in Africa because the parents, they have concept that female students should not go to school. They should, instead of going to school, they should go to the shamba to be married and other things, to do work there at their homes. If you may compare the female and male students, it is very difficult for girls. Many women and girls, they have a difficult life.
The result of the charity's work goes beyond giving young men and women an education. It not only lifts their own families out of poverty, but by staying in Nyaishozi, they are able to share their knowledge with the next generation. The population of Nyaishozi district is approximately 50,000, and the community is spread over a wide area. As roads are poor and transport limited, Father Vitalis also holds Sunday services in outstations. After the service, there is an opportunity while everyone is together for a party atmosphere to take over and for people to enjoy themselves as only the Tanzanians can. Having a large and growing population, the need for improved education becomes all the more urgent. The main challenge for Action Africa is to continue to raise funds for schools and educate the children, who are the future of Tanzania.